should?
To guide the community development, identification of community development needs and priorities, addressing housing needs, and then the annual action plan for fiscal year 2025. While the City of Lebanon is committed to maximizing the impact of CDBG funds, it's important to acknowledge the limitation of our annual allocation. Compared to our neighboring cities, Lebanon receives significantly fewer funds despite facing similar challenges in housing, infrastructure, and economic development. Additionally, it's important to note that there is a 15% cap on public service activities. For fiscal year 2025, the city anticipates a CDBG allocation of approximately $650,000 with an additional $20,000 in program income. These funds must be carefully distributed to address a wide range of community needs, making it essential to have a well-informed and strategic approach to their use. In the past, the city has used CDBG funds for street improvements, water main improvements, code enforcement, playground projects, crime prevention, affordable housing projects, administration, and more. To ensure that the consolidated plan accurately reflects the needs of our community, we are seeking input from residents and stakeholders. A questionnaire is available in English and Spanish and on the city's website at lebanonpa.org and has been sent to over 2,700 emails who are subscribers for our e-blasts. Additionally, hard copies are available at Lebanon City Hall, and community organization offices were provided flyers with QR codes to hang in their offices to help spread the word. We ask that all questionnaires be completed and returned by March 7th, 2025. Furthermore, agencies seeking funding for fiscal year 2025 must submit their requests in writing by 4 p.m. on Friday, April 25th, 2025. Applications can be found on the Lebanon City website at lebanonpa.org and in the administration office in Lebanon City Hall. The city intends to submit our application for HUD funds on or around July 1st, 2025. We strongly encourage community participation in the planning process, as the input provided will help shape this plan for the next 5 years. Thank you for your time and participation.
Thank you, Janelle. Any questions from council at this time?
Janelle, is this the first time you're doing this questionnaire? Or have you done that in the past?
No,
Okay.
so every 5 years we put together a consolidated plan. This is the first time we've done it, I think, electronically. I don't believe we did it electronically in 2020.
That's what yeah.
But we've gotten a large response so far, and
Right.
we've got 2 more weeks. So
I
if you
think
guys
it's a
could
great
all-
idea. Thank you for presenting it in that manner.
Yep, and it's in English and Spanish.
And quick question, thank you first of all for all your work, but can you explain to me a little bit more about the 15% cap you mentioned? What kind of services are capped at that amount?
Sure. So any project that would fall under a public service, so that would be like organizations coming in for, like nonprofit organizations coming in because like Lebanon Family Health, for example, for one of their programs. Same with one of the activities that we've used in the past for that falls under this category is crime prevention. So again, that's capped at 15% of our annual allocation. Other activities we've done that are public service, do you remember? Arts Council and domestic violence, they've applied before. But really, yeah, any organization that wants to apply that would fall under that category, it would be the nonprofits getting funding. It's capped at 15% of our allocation.
Thank you.
But in the most recent years, because our allocation has drastically been reduced from, several years ago, because we utilize this money to help supplement the general fund budget with code enforcement, overtime, extra patrols for law enforcement and whatnot, there's very little money, if any, to unfortunately provide through this source of funding for nonprofit organizations.
That
So
makes
I don't want to
sense.
get anyone's hopes up high, because
makes
that
sense.
really hasn't happened for the last several years.
Thank you. Any other questions from council?
Janelle, will you be presenting the results of the survey?
So I give my department update next month, so I will provide you guys with an update. It closes on the 7th, and that's a few weeks later, so
All right,
I
thank you.
should have everything gone through by then.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting to see, so appreciate it.
You're
And
welcome.
thank you for your work in this program. We've been able to see the tangible, the effects of this money coming into our community. And it's needed, and it's good to see it being used well, so.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And are there any questions from the public or from the press?
You better not have any questions.
All right, so at this time, I will take a motion to adjourn this public hearing.
So
Do I have a motion? All right, thank you, Joe. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
This motion has been moved and seconded. A public meeting for the CBG program is closed. And at this time, we are going to move right into our meeting agenda for our Lebanon City Council meeting that is going to be held this coming Monday. So we're going to start off with communications. Mayor Sherry L. Capello informing council of the appointment of Patrol Officer Travis Pitcock to the City of Lebanon Police Pension Fund Board to fill the unexpired term of Sergeant Steve Board effective January 23, 2025. And Mayor?
Sure. Do you want to talk about the budget report first?
I did skip right over that. Yes, let's
okay.
talk about the budget report first.
Okay.
That is very important and much needed, so we'll come back to that.
So for
Go
the
ahead,
month
Sherry.
of January, it's the first month of the year, with slightly more than 8% of the budget year completed. The revenues, the receipts are more than 4%, expenditures are at 8%. The reason for the revenue being less than budgeted is because, of course, the real estate tax bills are only mailed out in March, so we haven't started receiving revenue from the new tax duplicate. Real estate taxes represent about 27% of our revenues, so until those dollars start coming in, we will probably be underperforming in our budget in revenues because of that, because it's such a large source of funding.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chairman, a question if I may. Did you say, what was the amount of expenditures? I'm sorry, I missed it.
8%.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Any other questions from council? And from the press and public? All right, we have this information. We'll look over this, and I'm looking forward to the read. So thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
And I read our order, and we don't have much tonight to get ready for Monday, and I totally have gone out of order. So the assignment of the prayer is going to be assigned to Cheryl, our city clerk, Cheryl Gibson, and we'll also be going over the approval of the minutes for our previous council meeting for January 2027, which then would come in line with the budget report. And now we will get to communications. I
Okay.
thank you, everybody, for your patience tonight. I am out of sorts.
Okay, so the Police Pension Board is comprised of the mayor as the chair, 3 police officers, and 3 residents of the city. And Sergeant Steve Board was on the Police Pension Board for many, many years, and he, of course, retired from the Lebanon Police Department with more than 38 years of service, so we thank him for that. And Officer Pitcock, I think he volunteered. I don't think his arm was twisted to serve on this board, because it can get a little dry. But it's an important function, because this board will review all of the calculations for upcoming pension approvals and sign off on those, make sure that audits are being completed and whatnot. So it's an oversight board, I guess you could call it. So these positions are important. So Officer Pitcock, he has been with us for 2 years, but he transferred from another department, so he has more years of service than that. But he's a great catch, He does our bike patrol. He's CISM certified, which is critical incident stress management, and just an overall great police officer. He just got Patrol Officer of the Year from the FOP. So we're very glad that he's a member of our team, right, Chief? Okay, so he is agreeing to fulfill the remaining term for Sergeant Board, and that would be effective, of course, January 23rd, and the term expires January 5th of 2026.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
And we also thank Officer Pittock for his willingness to step back into these boards. And again, these volunteer positions are often dry, but they're very important to the civic function of our city, so it's much appreciated. So, any questions at this point from council regarding this appointment? And anyone from press or public? Okay, then we'll move on to our next communication, which is Mayor Sherry L. Capello informing council of the reappointment of Sally Newen, Lebanon County Treasurer, to the Land Bank for a 5-year term effective February 9th, 2025. And Mayor?
Thank you. So the Land Bank was created in 2017. It's the only one in our county. We're very proud of the reasons why we created the Land Bank. It's to help to address blight and to help neighborhood revitalization and to retain property values, or actually lift up property values and, like we like to say, turn blight to bright. So the initial membership of the Land Bank Board was 3 members from the Redevelopment Authority, 1 Planning Commission member from the City Planning Commission, someone from the County Treasurer's Office, someone from the real estate appraisal industry, and 1 resident who maintains an active membership in a recognized civic organization of the city. And Sally, of course, fills the role of the County Treasurer's Office. She has been the County Treasurer for more than 21 years, does a great job, and we really appreciate her serving in this role.
All right, thank you, Sherry.
You're welcome.
Any questions from council regarding this appointment? And anyone from the press or public? All right. Well, again, we just always thank these people who step up and volunteer, so it's hard work. But that brings us to conclusion of our formal agenda that will be coming for our council meeting on Monday. Does anyone from council have anything of interest or for the good of the city to share at this time? And Mayor, anything from your office?
We're ending the code blue, I think, today at 5, right?
Does that mean it's getting warmer?
They say it's getting warmer. I'm not sure, though.
I'm wearing a t-shirt to try to maybe help drive it that way, or at least pretend. But anyone from press or public that has anything of interest for the good of the city? Okay. Hearing none, then I will see you all on Monday. Thank you for being here. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, everybody. I'll see you on Monday.
See you, George. Yes.